Hello, everybody. I'm Liz Giganti-Ulrich. I'm the director at G-Force Gym. And as promised in an earlier email, I am sending out this email today with this video to help you understand what happens when the half-year season ends. And that's coming up really soon because after our next competition, that'll be our last competition. And then they'll all go to one practice after that, which will be their last practice, and then the season officially ends. And so I'm getting a lot of emails right now. Everybody's asking, well, what's next? My kid wants to move to something more competitive. They want to go to a full year team, and everyone's having these questions. And so this visual video is being made for you all because I feel it helps communicate things a little bit more clearly than reading a very long email. So let's get started. We're going to talk about for the fact that everybody got to experience an incredible weekend at their first competition. And how exciting was that to see how excited your kids were and how well all the teams did. And now that they've had the full experience of attending practices, performing at the showcase, getting a routine ready, getting excited and waking up on game day and getting ready and going and having that experience of competition day and awards. And now we can have a better grasp to what you signed your kid up for and what it is that your child may be, or not just doing right now, but what some of them are showing interest in continuing for. So if your child is hoping to continue in this sport, then this is what this video is for. So there's pretty much 4 options now moving forward. Okay, so the first option is that your child is now done and they're not actually going to continue in any capacity. Sometimes a kid doesn't want to continue with cheer and tumbling. They may just want to do tumbling. In that case, you can take a look at where we have space at the gym for a tumbling class that they could pursue after spring break for the last 3 months before school ends, because that's when our classes also end. So they could take a tumbling class. We typically have spots open in a few classes. So hopefully one would work for you. And if not, you can just get on a wait list for one that does work for you. And if and when a spot opens up, we will contact you and they can start at that time. If your child is not going to be continuing with cheer and tumbling, this video is actually of no purpose for you at this point and you can stop watching. Okay, but please fill out the survey form first to let me know. It's the link to it is in the email that you linked to this video you're watching. It's the same email. And if you can just click on that survey, fill it out, let me know your child will not be continuing, then I know. And it's kind of nice because then we know we have that spot available for somebody else that may be interested in continuing. Thank you very much. Option number 2, your child does want to continue. And at this point, you have 2 options. So your child wants to continue and they want to do spring session. And spring session is a 3-month, April to June, cheer and tumbling session that only focuses on your child getting additional skills and working on personal goals and skill acquisition for these 3 months. So it'll be a 1-hour class where they work on tumbling, some cheer stunts, some other cheer elements like jumps and motions, and maybe a dance. But the big focus is tumbling. And so a majority of each class will be used towards their tumbling skills, with a bit being used towards additional cheer and tumbling skills. And this is because spring session helps fill the gap between a 6-month exposure to our sport, 7-month exposure, and then continuing to build on those fundamental skills that they acquired. Remember, they've been working towards a routine for the last many months. And when you're working on a routine and knowledge of the order and everything that's in your routine, you tend to do that over and over. So there hasn't been a ton of time for the kids to just work on getting better. And that's what these next 3 months are for. So if you skip that, then the other kids that are doing spring session will have a little bit of an advantage in that they are continuing to learn about the sport. However, doesn't always hinder anything because we do need our teams to move forward together. similar to a classroom at school. Everyone might be at a different level, but we're still teaching to the majority. And so if you're able to do spring session, we have a ton of different offerings for all the different age groups so that we can accommodate your schedule. Take a look. I do recommend it if you're going to continue and want to do a team moving forward. So that would be the first thing. Now, from there, there's a couple of options. One, you can just do spring session, take the summer off, and we'll see you in September. You can join another half-year team. The other option is we get a lot of emails right now where people are saying, my kid wants more, they want to do full year. So you need to remember that full year is the next level of commitment. And it is a big commitment at G-Force Gym. If you've heard rumors where they say, oh, if your kid's sick, they still have to go to practice. And you're like, no way, like that. No, it's actually true. Like if your kid is not feeling 100% and are not contagious, the expectation is that they will attend practice and participate in a capacity that they're able to participate in. And I need to be forthcoming with you because we don't want you to feel surprised when we call you on the phone if your kid is missing a practice because you signed up for a full year team. So what will happen is the commitment just gets to that next level and your kid is expected to be at all their practices. And these practices start in September, mandatory practices start in September and they go until the last competition. If you're a family that likes to take vacations during the school year, do not sign up for a full year team. If you would not send your kid to a practice if they're not feeling 100%, then do not sign up for a full year team. It's okay. You can do another year of half year team. It is still allowing your child to do the sport at a recreational level. Yes, it's a little frustrating. People are constantly missing. It's hard to have all the kids there. But if that is what works best for your family and your family's needs, then that is the best way to go. It goes from 1 practice a week to 2 practices a week. And the thing is, the other families that have signed up for a full year commitment really want all the kids that have been placed on their child's team to make the same commitment as them. So we really do have to uphold this standard. And we sometimes have to remove families that are unable to make that commitment of being at every single practice. And, we recognize that there are emergency situations that happen. And for those reasons, your child may have a valid reason to miss. We do have grandparents that pass away or emergencies with families and things like that. We get it. But what we're talking about is a commitment across the board that you're signing into. And if you've never been an athlete yourself as a parent, this concept of having to go to practice might be a new concept to you. So we're just trying to be forthcoming and transparent so that you understand the difference between a half-year team once a week, less tuition, fewer competitions. People on the team are higher rate, like big range of ages sometimes, but that's what we're able to offer you if that's the commitment level you are able to make. On the flip side, our full year teams start in May. So we're going to be doing assessments in the middle of May, and you would then start at the end of May. And then you go to 2 practices a week until the end of the school year. And then during the summer, we wrap mini breaks around the holidays. So like we all know, July 1st is a holiday. So there's like a 10-day break there. And then in August, we know that the first week of August is typically also the BC Day and a holiday. So we wrap another 10 days with it. And then we ask that the kids come 1 day a week, Monday to Thursday. It'll just be once a week. I think there's 7 practices in total in the summer. And you are allowed to miss those if your family's going away because mandatory practices do not start until September. What happens is, there's a transition from a spring session for those of you that go from spring session that goes till the end of June and want to join a full year team, and that starts at the end of May. When you fill out the survey that you all need to fill out, you will let me know that you want to do a full year team and start at the end of May, and then the fees you pay to do the spring session, we take a $50 credit for the classes that are left before spring session ends, and we transfer it to your startup fees for the full year team. So you still sign up for spring session, you just pay, because sometimes people change their mind in the middle of the spring session, and or some people end up, I want to keep spring session as an extra day of training for my child. So like lots of things happen. And then we will communicate with those of you that fill out the survey to say, I want to join a full year team. We will then only be communicating with you moving forward to give you more information about assessments and how your child will be assessed, so that we know which team they're ready for, because we have a lot of different options. Let's talk about that. So if you want to do a full year team based on your birth year, there are lots of different full year teams for your child based on the skill set and experience of your child, based on the evaluation that happens when myself or the other directors and head coaches at the gym go and assess your child. They will be put on a team. So for example, this year we had an under 6 full year team. So for kids that are turning 6 and under. Then we had a team for a few options for the next age group up, which is under 8. So some of those kids turn 9 in 2025. And so we would have a beginner group, kids that are still working on their fall to back bridge and kickovers and front handstands, fall to bridge, stand up. Like, so those kids still don't have their front walkover, back walkovers and connected skills. So those kids get put on an under 8 level 1 team. Then we have an advanced level 1 team for that age group. And those are the kids that can now do their front walkovers, cartwheel, back walkovers, switches, and all of that. Then for that same age group, we have a level 2 team under 8. And that is a team where the kids already have their handsprings, their standing back handspring, their back walkover back handsprings, their round up back handspring, step out back handspring, back walkover back handsprings, like those kind of skills. And that's for under 8. And then for under 12, we have the same options that I just went through. We have the kids that are still working on fall to back bridge kickover and still don't have their like walkover fluidity. They can't actually like make a front walkover all the way around and stand up, or a back walkover stand up. Then we have a level 1, more advanced level 1, 1.5. So it's 1 to 1.5. And these kids almost have their walkovers, like they'll get it in the next few months, but they are able to fall to back bridge and kick over, or handstand limber and get up. And then we have an advanced level 1.5 under 12 team. And those kids have their advanced connection skills, front walkover, cartwheel, back walkover, switch. And they'll show us that at assessments. We also have a level 2 team, which is the back handsprings and connected skills, back walkover, back handsprings and all that for level 2. We also have a level 3 for under 12. And that is their saltos. So they have their aerials, they have their front walkover, round up back handspring, back tucks, round up back handspring, back tucks. They have their punch fronts and stuff. Okay. And then from half year teams, we've never had anybody go from a half year team to anything higher level than that. But we do also have an under 16 for kids that are too old for under 12. And that is a team where they could move to if they're level 1, 1.5, or level 1.5 working towards level 2, but they don't have their level 2 skills yet. Hopefully that clarifies everything. So I just want to check my notes to make sure I've talked about everything that is important before I move forward. For assessments, this is very important. When you sign up for spring session, we will be coming to you to do an assessment. We will only assess the kids whose names we generate a list of names from the survey you filled out saying they want to join a full year team. So we go to their spring session class and you'll get an email to let you know which one in the middle of May that we will be going to. And from there, we will assess them there. So you do not send your kid to any assessment or tryout date. If you're watching social media, don't let that confuse you. We come to you. If you're not doing spring session, then we will not be able to assess you because you're not at spring session. So you will need to go to an assessment and use these tryout information that we post on social media to know, oh, my kid is 7, so they need and born this year, so they'll go to this day because they're level 1. Got it. And then you go to that one. Okay, if you have any issues, conflicts, you'll email me and we'll find a solution for you. As far as after that, then we get started at the end of May, and the full year teams start at that time. If you are going to just do another half of your team next year, you just finish spring session to the end of June, and then we'll put them on a team you're choosing, because we offer lots of different times during the week. So you'll register just like you did this past year, go into your portal and put them in for a half year team. Those don't go live until the first week of June. We don't have anything live. You can't register for anything at our gym for 2024-25 until we have blocked out the entire schedule based on how many athletes are joining full year teams. And once we know what teams we're having and who the coaches are, we can build out the whole schedule. And then from there, we can calculate when we're going to be able to offer other classes and teams like half year, tumbling, ninja, all of that stuff. Okay. The final thing I want to talk about is the most popular question I get from parents is, how do I know if my kid is ready for a full year team? And honestly, this is what it comes down to. Your kid is keen, they're passionate, they've found something that they really enjoy and they want to get better. They have a longing and a desire to attend and go. They're the ones getting you out the door, and they just are really excited about the sport. If they're excited and you as a family can make the commitment that we ask for, then you can move to a full year team. It is not about being the most skillful or talented kid. We have teams, full year teams for all levels. We require you to have 1 year experience on a half year team so that the families know enough about what the sport is that you've just signed up for, because we want you to have at least that much of an experience. And so if you've done a half year team, then it really just comes down to your child showing and expressing interest and a desire to really pursue the sport. You guys can make 2 days a week. You're going to make it a priority. You're going to send your kid if they're not feeling 100%. You're going to not book vacations during the competitive season. And if you're able to do all of that, then we welcome you to sign up for a full year team, and we will put them under our care and help grow them. And number one priority is to help them reach their potential while teaching them life lessons about the real world. I hope to see you all at assessments. I will be doing those personally. And if you have any questions, just reply back to that email and ask your question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, everyone.